Mother Nature is all about challenges and the survival of the fittest, and animals tend to go at each other occasionally. That is precisely what we will be taking a look at today. Let us begin with the rumble. We have seen what happens when bears meet humans. They often get scared or run away. But when two giant bears meet each other, it becomes the sight of a lifetime. They both size each other up with growls, roars, and size intimidation. Finally, they stand up as a tree supports their hefty bodies to lean on before starting the actual fight. They lock jaws and claws with each other as the two become more significant after standing on their hind legs. We can see these guys' power as they throw each other around like they don't weigh anything. Biting and throwing jabs at each other with 4 inches of claws, you know they are dealing much damage to each other. It's still a wonder how Leonardo DiCaprio survived. Another but far heavier combatant is the elephant seal. These guys are incredibly territorial, especially regarding winning mating rights. This guy might have found a mate, but his victory is short-lived as someone has spotted him. After telling them to stop doesn't work, the other male comes in and bites the other male on the side. That gets his attention, and both of them take the stance to intimidate each other, but they are not backing down. The slow yet excruciating fight begins when they begin biting one another and pulling on the flesh to make it hurt as much as they can. Which male do you think is the bigger one out of the two? Because both are the size of a small car. Both of them are poorly hurt, and both of them are bleeding from places, and one of them even almost lost his nose. The fighting does not stop, and they keep on going until one of them finally retreats. Looks like we have a winner. Here, another set of bears is about to go entirely ham on each other. These guys just don't have any compromise when they see another bear coming towards them. The clash instantly begins as they start roaring at each other. Both of the animals hug a tree as they put it between them and start getting up on their feet against the tree. That is kind of like what Dana White does during UFC face-offs. From this angle, we can see a third bear at a distance, but that guy probably avoids these two because he does not want to be part of this encounter. It looks like we have a winner, and the loser is just beaten to the ground with its head inside the jaws of the other one. Snow leopards are very hard-working animals when it comes to hunting, and this one is hot on the tail of a deer. When it does catch it, the two find themselves suspended in the air as they fall down the side of a mountain onto rocks. Miraculously, the animal survives and does not let go of the deer from its jaws. All the while they are battered by rocks and rolled down the cliffside. Cats have 9 lives, which it must have used up at least 4. Here, a pair of black bears are going at it like vicious savages due to a territory dispute. The camera catches all the action, and once again, a poor tree is caught between the fighting, and so is a little GoPro. Finally, after many hits, jabs, and bites, the two settle around the tree and keep their heads down. Sometimes other predators from different species collide, making for a very intense showdown. This bobcat found itself crossing roads with a rattlesnake. The cat throws down on it with a fury of claws and slaps, and the snake is too hurt to fight back. The loser dies of poison or gets eaten, and the latter seems to be coming true as the bobcat tries to walk off with the snake in its mouth. But the snake isn't going down easy. With no tree on the road, this guy will have to make do with what they have and fight it out like real bears today. The setting is perfect as the rain trickles down and the two yell at each other's faces as a show of intimidation. The fight begins as, ironically, the smaller one pushes the bigger guy right in the middle of the road. The bigger guy has had enough and clamps down on the other bear's head, taking it for a walk right back to where it all started. He showed him who is boss after a few bites and a heavy load of slaps. The little guy finally backed down, realizing that he had picked on the wrong bear today and instantly regretted his decision. Two lions seem to have found their next target, who is simply lying down on the road and sleeping. The brothers go into stealth mode and begin approaching the lion, who is lying in plain sight of them, unaware of what is coming behind him.
Oh, wake up, dude. Wake up.
His sleep ends when the two attack him, and he gets up to confront them. But it is too late, and he is in for a beatdown. These people can probably feel those roars and groans of pain from over there. The lions stop fighting only when the poor guy gives up, and the other two do their victory roars right in his face. These bears are so giant that this cameraman instructs his friend to dump the equipment and run if they get even close while fighting, and he is correct. The bears approach each other, and these guys have already predicted what will happen.
Now, if they break into a fight and it gets too close to us, just back up, get out of their way.
Leave the camera.
Yeah, leave the camera, just leave.
The fight abruptly begins as the bears hop on their hind legs and start bashing away at each other as water is blown off of their fur. You can see every detail thanks to the bravery of these guys, who are almost risking their lives for this footage. One of them begins to overpower the other, slams it to the ground, and begins to take advantage of the situation. The fight is taken vertically as the animals stand on their hind legs to battle it out, and these guys have proven to be more than a match for one another.
Thank God you've got 2 turns.
The confrontation is finally over, with the younger bear on the ground and the more significant and older male with one paw on the other's chest, standing proud and strong with blood dripping from its mouth.
Sound of that because I've just been swearing.
Here is another scenario of big versus small. The smaller tiger, who is a female, lays in the road as the other tiger, who is male, approaches and causes the female to pounce right up. What follows is something very rarely seen in the wild.
One wildlife enthusiast had a truly unforgettable experience. After 25 years of exploring the park, he witnessed something here.
As it turns out, this is a father and daughter clash fighting over territory. Although Dottie, the tigress, lies defeated, she simultaneously leaves behind a proud and angry dad.
To rule the forest in the days to come.
Two grizzly bears preparing for the coming winter had packed up enough energy to get on with a throwdown. The two lumbering giants start with each other's cheeks in their jaws as they struggle to stand high and adequately. They finally go down on their all fours and begin wrestling once more. But since they have been feeding for a long time, these guys are less energetic than the ones we saw before. Later, another one joins in the fun as the other two break away from one another, but he does not get himself involved and only rubs himself against the bushes, only to go away as well.
Look at him. Look at him standing up.
At first, it might look like these guys are brothers and are just patrolling the area, but as soon as they go into the tall grass, things change out of the blue. The two begin fighting like there is no tomorrow, and their roars are audible. When the session ends, they start walking off together as if nothing happened again. Now that is what you call keeping it straight to business. Unlike bears who go at it for a while, tigers just need a few seconds. Alpha males are just a sight to behold when they fight, because just by looking at them we can begin to understand just how powerful these guys are. Although the bear we see is being submissive, the other one isn't letting him go that easily. They lock on each other's faces and begin a battle of who tears off whose face first, and both ignore the pain for now. There is a clear difference of power here, and we can tell who is bossing who around, and still the bear on the ground is not giving up that easily. Finally, the two break off from the fight, and even though both are exhausted, we already have a victory. Size does matter in the case of bears. Snakes also tend to get very competitive in winning mating rights, and this female king cobra has two kings fighting over her. The two approach each other and stand as high as they can.
The two males size each other up.
Even though they occasionally bite each other, king cobras fight in a dance, flaring their hoods and pushing on one another. A king cobra would have little to no effect on another similar cobra. The dance lasts as long as they can make it, as both males are resilient and do not want to miss out on the opportunity. Their fight takes them everywhere slowly as they entangle around each other.
Winning and earning the right to breed is all that matters.
The intruder finally admits defeat and slithers back into the bush where it came from, leaving behind a proud, soon-to-be father.
His dominance established, the village male now has his chance with Nagaina.
Bears have a keen sense of smell that can help them reach 20 miles. Yes, you heard that right. And this whale carcass is attracting every nearby bear to come and eat it, as the rotting smell just makes their taste buds tingle.
Good to go.
At such a place, it is common for these guys to end up fighting one another for the right to win, and this mother with a cub will do everything she can for herself and her cub especially. The male knows better than to attack right away. Yet another bear comes in and begins to push the mother out of the way, and they clash over the food. The cub runs for it and manages to stand clear of the confrontation. Thankfully, the other male comes running in to save the female. The fight ends with the mother and cub at the back making their way home, and the other two exhausted. Likewise, an elephant picked on a mother rhino with her calf at a watering hole. The two lock horns and tusks as the elephant powers the mother back to trample right over her baby by accident. Although she lost the fight, the main reason she did this was to keep her baby safe. These brown bears found themselves locked in an intimidation contest, which would eventually turn into a fight. The two bears size each other up as their gap grows even more minor. They have a bit of a roar-off to see if the matter can be resolved peacefully without anyone bleeding and being battered to the ground, but anything like that seems highly unlikely. Finally, one seizes the opportunity and leaps onto the other with lightning speed. They both latch onto each other and shake their heads to deal as much pain and damage as they can. It looks like they have had enough, and the two let go. The one who had their neck bit seems to have lost the ordeal as it backs down, almost yelping in pain. Here is an unusual face-off. A rhino versus a Cape buffalo. Although these two are similar in size, the rhino has 2 plus points. Namely, they are overweight and have big, sharp horns. Things begin to tense up as both of them have their heads locked.
Very noisy there. His movement up top there is back to our right.
Oh, is it Eland?
Eland.
Yeah.
The clash begins, and the buffalo quickly discovers it has messed with the wrong animal. The rhino almost picks it up from the front, but the Black Death is not stopping now and still goes at the giant animal.
Ooh. He's going nuts.
The rhino pushes the buffalo back on top of its head, almost toppling the animal, but the buffalo stands firm and does not give up.
He's carrying it all.
He's got him pegged on that horn.
Even with the herd behind it, the buffalo takes a good beating and is finally brought to the ground by the big, strong rhino. A bear was caught off guard when another bear approached it as the poor guy had his head inside of a barrel. He pushes the bear, letting him know he is there, and that is when things start to escalate immediately. The bear puts his head back into the hole, which is not appreciated by the other guy, and gets jumped on immediately. A fight breaks out, and the two begin mauling each other. At the end, the brown one chases the other away, and they both make their way downhill at high speed. The most mainstream enemies in the jungle are the mongoose and snake, and a pair is going at it in the middle of the road. The snake tries to jump the mongoose, but that slippery guy is tough. The snake is injured and trying its best to get away from the mongoose, but is caught in the little guy's jaws repeatedly. Later, the winner takes home his kill, and the snake pays with its life. When salmon is in season, that calls for all the bears to assemble in one place, and this guy just caught himself some yummy sushi. Sadly, his food attracts the attention of another bear that wants a piece of it. As the victor takes his prized possession, another bear comes in to steal the kill just as the bear is about to eat it. The fight ends, and the bear that won gets the kill and begins eating right in the face of the other bear. What seems like an optical illusion in the water are two snakes dishing it out in a spectacular manner. One of them is clamped on the other and is spinning the other around, probably as a tactic. Here is another salmon hub where many bears have collected, but these two are having a little confrontation. Things start slow as the two look like they are playing rather than fighting. Things aren't abrupt, but these guys are using less movement and more bite force to fight it out calmly.
Oh, big rifle.
Even on land, they dish it out in the same manner as these two are distinguished gentlemen of their nature. This real-life roadrunner probably looks nothing like the cartoon. You would be surprised to know that these guys can take on snakes. One strike from the snake is enough to let the roadrunner know it is not the place to be in right now. Even in captivity, bears can lose their minds, and the one sleeping on the slide gets a rude awakening as he is pushed over and falls to the ground. The poor guy is then attacked from behind by another bear. This 2 versus 1 situation gets a bit out of hand, but the slide bear keeps his ground and shows the other 2 that he isn't someone to be messed with. Moose and grizzly bears don't usually get along well, and this moose caught itself inside water and cornered by a grizzly. The brave animal starts charging at the predator, who also makes a run for it. The moose is faster and causes the bear to almost crash into the water in a comedy twist. These bears are surrounded by beautiful scenery and are making it better by having a brawl right in front of these people as they clamp down on each other. One of them begins to walk away, but is closely followed by the other bear, who is probably not willing to let that little skirmish slide like this.
She doesn't care who it is.
No loyalty there, is there?
Nope.
Later, they are both found in the same situation as before.
Wow.
Crocodiles will attack anything that comes near the water to drink from it. These elephants did not expect themselves to be next on the list for the crocodile as it grabs hold of a trunk with its powerful jaws. The elephant doesn't give up and smashes the animal right back. This peacock found itself thinking about why these chickens were not sharing the food on the ground and decided it was time to take action. This makes the rooster a bit furious as the peacock messes with his wife and goes in for the attack, making the peacock run back into the forest. It looks like we have a clear winner. Imagine waking up to find that a pair of bull moose have found their way into your driveway and are now fighting on it. These guys are not to be approached as they are massive and don't know where they are going at this time. They move from one side to the other as they seem equally matched. They make their way onto the road where one finally trips.
Watch out, get back.
The moose keep going as people move out of their way, and they move right in the middle of the intersection. This time, the stronger animal pushes the other one away and keeps him running.